Hey gamers, it's time for me to check out something very different. Huge thanks to GeForce Now and Pico, I can now test out GeForce Now running on the Pico 4. Yes, the Pico 4 was added as a compatible headset for GeForce Now, and just look at this gorgeous device. So thin on the front end, extremely lightweight as well, and the speakers on these, which you can see here, are facing towards you from the headset here, have absolutely phenomenal sound. So what I'm going to do is try and attach one of the microphones on the headset here, so you can get a feel for the volume, but I'll also record in headset as well so you can see what I see. These also have a very easy detachable frame. This is fantastic for the extra module for having glasses. You can see I have actually very big glasses, and these, with a little bit of a squeeze, it's not very much, but it does actually fit on quite nicely. So as you'll see as well, I can tighten this in, and even with the glasses on, this is pretty much sealed underneath. Now, a huge problem I have with a lot of headsets is that I normally see quite a big gap underneath here under the eyes, and it really ruins that immersion. But for these, I don't actually see anything under here at all. So I get full immersion without actually getting any environment bleed as well. Similar to other headsets, double tap gives me full pass-through, so I can see where I left the remote. Interesting point is, obviously for GeForce Now, it doesn't actually support the handheld controllers for the Pico 4. So what we do need is a controller. Now, other controllers are available, but I have been using the GameSir G7 Pro. Absolutely love this controller. I do have these two back panels locked because I accidentally press those quite often, and you can remap these as you want. But a simple press on. I've already paired this to the headset. You just pair it with Bluetooth, and then you are good to go. So let's get this attached back on. I will start the recording in the Pico 4 Ultra. The quality of the recording in this is absolutely phenomenal as well. So you'll see that I will sync the video to what you're seeing in front of me so that you can see what I see. So I'm going to switch to the controller, and you'll see everything as I do as well. Already had GeForce Now installed, and to make things easier, I use the controller here. So you can see in my settings on gameplay, I have this set to custom, running at 1440p at 60 Hz. Unfortunately, we don't have the 120 Hz option here, but 60 is good, especially for demanding games anyway. And then I have the in-graphics settings set. Always turn off the adjust for local conditions because I don't want my bitrate to keep changing on me. I do find that this actually keeps things most stable. So go back into the game here. I'm actually going to run Crimson Desert. You'll see I have a lot of time in this already, but it's an absolute gorgeous game to show this off. So while GeForce Now is loading up, we can bring this in closer or further away. Now, it doesn't show as well on the in-game recording, even though this is at pretty much the max out of my view on what you're going to see on screen. This is actually still within my frame rate of actually seeing it on the display itself. So edge to edge, I still have to move my head slightly to get full clarity in the corners, but overall I see the screen very well. We also have extra controls in here, so we can actually go into a more immersive mode. So I'm going to just make it a little bit more comfortable in my view, and I'll go into the full screen mode here. You'll see that this bar down the bottom disappears. Now I'm in full immersive mode, and I don't have any other distractions on my screen. And now I can have full, I don't know what size screen this would be if you actually mounted it to a wall, but it'd pretty much be like projecting it on the side of your house. I'd like to say a 240-inch screen, but it's probably taking the mick a little bit. You'll have to let me know if you've tried some of this stuff in VR, what kind of size this is. So let's dive into game. You'll see, because this is running on GeForce Now Ultra, GeForce Now on the Ultimate here, just how quickly this is running. We get the benefit of that 5080, and if I should be able to bring up the in-game overlay as well. There we go. See the statistics in the top right. Don't quite get the full graphics modes on this one. No. Here's a slightly different mode. We can at least see the game frames per second and streams frames per second up in the top. And of course, the Pico 7 has Wi-Fi 7. Although my home network isn't a Wi-Fi 7, I do have a decent Wi-Fi 6 mesh network, and I'm actually sat in the same room as my router as well. So I'm actually very short distance. My router is just in the corner over there, and overall it's running very well so far. I do have both my kids playing as well at the moment, so they are online gaming, and I'm not really getting any input latency here at all. And you might hear some shouting in the background, so apologies for that, as they do get a little bit vocal while they're gaming. As you can see, we are running this at absolutely superb settings. I'm at the second stage of my camp now, so at least I was at the second stage of camp. Looks like it's loaded a different version here. Hopefully it hasn't overwritten what I had on my other PC. There we go. So if you want to see the difference between the first stage and second stage of camp, there we have it. So as you can see, my camp has been upgraded. Let's see what this next mission is. And on the graphics, this is running at absolute ultra. Although I did notice that without all those settings, it is only just about holding 37 frames per second. So maybe I will put the DLSS on. So I think it is actually a good idea to give it a little bit of breathing room and put that DLSS to quality mode. As you'll see, this makes quite an impact to the frames per second, that we're getting over that 60 now. So there we go, things are much smoother, pretty much no degradation in quality, but it also gives that stream a little bit of breathing room so that I can get things a little bit nicer. So let's get on a horse and go find some combat, and you'll see just how good this is on the big screen. See how quick these guys move. Two. Let's get the 3. So overall, you can see that it's running absolutely superbly on the Pico 4 Ultra. Huge thanks to both GeForce Now for giving me access, and the Pico team for sending me the device to test out. You want to have a go? Then check out the links in the description below. Let us know in the comments below which device you want to be playing this on, and if you're giving it a go on the Pico 4 Ultra. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.